What is up, YouTube, and welcome to Lil Jitsu. Today, as promised, I'm posting an extra video for you guys. This is from the tournament last weekend. This is one of my no-gi matches. It was my first no-gi match, and I went up against a black belt from Siri Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The match went pretty well for my standards, going against a black belt in my first brown belt tournament. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but I added some commentary for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy that. And if you like the video, don't forget, like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Here we go. This was match number 1 in the advanced 155-pound no-gi division. So I don't know what to expect and opt to pull guard. I'm trying to pull him into my half guard so that I can start working leg attacks or sweep, but he locks on a guillotine the second that I go for deep half. The guillotine is really tight, but I'm trying to keep my guard so that he can't extend and get to mount. You can see me right here reaching my right arm above his shoulder, trying to relieve the tension of the choke. As we struggle here, I start to come up on top, and he's still fighting the arm in guillotine, but I get to a position where I can start fighting hands. He then starts circling towards my back, and because he puts a hook in, I use that to get to half guard. Now, I apologize for the camera angles here, but as I'm trying to get to a better guard than that 3/4 half, he ends up mounting me. And from that position, the ref then resets us in the middle. He resets us back in the mount, and you can see that my opponent is doing a good job of maintaining heavy cross-face pressure, not giving me the ability to turn. Every time I turn to one side to try and trap his leg, he cross-faces in the opposite direction, keeping my body completely flat and preventing any escapes here. You can see me pushing on his hips to try and bridge and get my knee in, but his pressure is too good and I don't really move anywhere. My little bridges here are in an effort to try and get one of my legs underneath his legs so that I can start sliding back to a half guard, but you can see how high up his feet are on my hips, going to a high mount, preventing me from being able to trap his feet. This also prevents me from being able to use any bridges effectively, but I do manage to trap his leg after a little bit here, and my left arm, you can see him framing on it. If I had that free, I would be able to push his knee farther into my guard and start recovering to a more offensive position, but because he's grabbing my wrist and cross-facing my head so hard, I'm not able to do anything about that grip. He then switches to a knee cut to clear the 3/4 guard, and to try and avoid pass points, I belly down looking for a single leg. I then rehook his foot and use my left knee to bump him in the butt to try and get his hips higher so that I can start coming up onto my knees and attack the takedown. This doesn't work though because he's keeping his hips back, and as I reach for the underhook, he starts to set up a Darce choke. And you can see that my left hand is on the side of his hip, and I'm trying to keep it there to relieve or loosen the pressure on the choke. And as we roll, we scramble out of bounds, and because there was no maintained position, the ref resets us standing. At this point, I'm down 7 points to 0, and I know I need to score. So we start hand fighting from standing position, and I'm looking for a takedown into a guard pass. My strategy standing is typically to avoid or prevent my opponent from getting any solid grips on my wrists or my collar, so you can see me breaking grips more than I'm actually gripping myself. But he does reach a little bit too far forward and allows me to arm drag him using my right leg to trip him, which prevents the sprawl. As I get the takedown points, I immediately start looking for my over-under pass, but you can see that my opponent is doing a good job of pushing my head in the direction that I would need to pass to, preventing me from settling that pass. I then start tripoding to look for a knee cut or a long step, but my opponent manages to use his right foot to keep a hook on my leg, and I lean a little bit too far forward with my hips, which allow him to elevate me, getting under me, and start attacking a toe hold. We kind of dueling banjo here, but neither of us has a good grip. I'm still worried about the toe hold, so I rolled a 50-50 looking for a heel hook, and it's at this moment that the ref stops us because once again, I am bleeding. In all honesty, that heel hook was not very tight, so I don't think I would have finished it, but nevertheless, he wraps my face again and we start standing. I'm looking for more takedowns and another guard pass because I'm still down 5 points. It's 7-2, and I would need a takedown, a guard pass, and then a mount or a submission in order to win this match. There's about 2 minutes left, and you guys can see the hand fighting and the collar tie grips. Looking for dominant grips here so I can set up my takedown. During this match, my opponent still has not yet even shot, but as we're hand fighting, you can see his head and his chest. His posture is really high comparatively to mine. My head's a lot lower than his. He does look for an arm drag trip, similar to the takedown that I performed on him, but his foot doesn't catch my leg and he doesn't get the takedown. Right here, we circle back into the middle, slap bump, and I'm still looking for a finish. So I change levels, look for my double leg, but he latches onto another guillotine, and honestly, my neck is super sore from the first one. I'm ham fighting, and he sprawls as we fall out of bounds. The referee sets us again in the middle, and I'm still down 7-2. Slap bump, we keep going, hand fight again, and I get an immediate, very quick inside trip arm drag, settling another 2 points. I'm now down 3. There's not a lot of time left in this match, so I'm starting to open up a little bit, being a little bit more risky, and you can see me try and roll through his guard here with a long step. That doesn't work, and I get a wrist grip, so that prompts me to roll for a Kimura. Still a little loose. He scrambles out on top, and to avoid him getting sweep points, I stand up. Looking at the clock and realizing I only have a few seconds, I go for a flying guillotine that definitely doesn't work. Come back in bounds, and the time is out. That is it. There you have it, guys. I took the L in this one as well. I ended up with a score of 7-4. I didn't get submitted. I almost got submitted. And as you can see, I had a problem with my nosebleed again, and they had to tape my head. I apologize for the different camera angles, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and look forward to another video on Monday. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, follow me on Instagram if you guys are interested. Stay consistent, go train.